Hey there, fight fans, and welcome to the latest edition of Below the Belt Boxing, YouTube's newest boxing channel on the rise. On tonight's card, we look into the tormented world of the two-time heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. Coming up, a story of ruthless crime, money to burn, and substance paraphernalia.
I'm gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion.
Mike Tyson is a former two-time heavyweight world boxing champion from Brownsville, Brooklyn, notoriously the murder capital of New York City. Nicknamed Iron Mike Tyson, it wasn't long before he fell into the wrong crowd, the Rutland Road Crew, a gang that called themselves Cats. He committed several crimes in his youth, including robbing stores, pickpocketing the elderly, and mugging young teenagers. By the time he turned 13 years old, he'd been arrested an unbelievable 38 times.
I don't miss this neighborhood, but I'm proud that I'm from here.
In September 1991, Tyson was indicted on 1 count of sexual assault, 2 counts of criminal deviant behavior, and 1 count of confinement. He was accused by a contestant in the Miss Black America pageant, Desiree Washington, who claimed that Tyson forced himself on her in his hotel room. Tyson was convicted on the count of sexual assault as well as counts of deviant conduct. The judge sentenced Tyson to a decade in jail, as well as a $30,000 fine, upwards of $70,000 in today's money. The conviction was upheld in the appeal, and the U.S. Supreme Court refused to hear Tyson's case appeal once again. Tyson was released after serving just 3 years of the 10-year sentence. Since Tyson's release, it seemed that he could not escape a life of crime. In 1997, Tyson's boxing license was revoked for 1 year after he bit off a chunk of opponent Evander Holyfield's ear during their rematch fight after the underdog Holyfield beat Tyson by TKO and went on to win the heavyweight championship for the 3rd time. In the following years, Tyson was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor assaults, 1 felony count of possession of an illegal substance, and 2 misdemeanor counts of driving under the influence. Mike Tyson's superstardom and boxing victories paid off. At his peak, he had an estimated net worth of around $300 million. According to Forbes and reported by the New York Times, Tyson even became the highest paid athlete in the world in 1990, a feat he repeated in 1996. Tyson seemed to have a fascination with not just fighting, but animals. Fighting animals to be exact, this led him to offer a zookeeper $10,000 to let him fight a silverback gorilla. Mike tells it as he and his then-wife were strolling on a private tour of a New York zoo when the boxer noticed a gorilla who seemed to be bullying the others in its enclosure. The zookeeper declined Tyson's offer and moved the couple on sharply. One of the more obscure stories is that, flush with his boxing money in the 1990s, he famously set his sights on the more exotic of animals. As he told podcast host Joe Rogan, the idea came to him while he was in prison. Tyson's car dealer mentioned how he was going to trade some cars for horses. Tyson asked what else he could trade for, and the dealer mentioned several exotic animals, but one stuck out. He eventually got 3 Bengal tigers, Boris, Storm, and Kenya. According to TMZ magazine, Tyson spent $70,000 for the tigers, $200,000 to feed and house them, and $125,000 for the trainer to house train them. However, Tyson didn't only spend his money on exotic animals. Another interesting purchase is that he also used his endless amount of money to spoil those closest to him. Once, Tyson bought a 24-karat gold bathtub for over $2 million for his then-wife, Robin Givens. The boxing legend has had a long and unpleasant period of substance abuse during his life. In his documentary, The Undisputed Truth, Tyson disclosed that he used banned substances often during his career. This dark shadow kept looming over the former heavyweight champ long after his retirement. Reportedly, Iron Mike had the same distributor as Hollywood legend Robin Williams. In an interview with Howard Stern for Sirius XM Radio, Tyson revealed that he and Williams would often cross paths and were shocked to find out they had the same distributor. In his autobiography, Undisputed Truth, Mike Tyson admitted to fighting while on intoxicants and using a paid-for urine sample in a bid to pass VADA testing. Among his entrepreneurial efforts in recent years, boxing icon Mike Tyson has become a noted advocate for his usage in recreational and over-the-counter medicine. One spell, in particular, briefly killed the baddest man on the planet. Speaking with the New York Post, Tyson revealed that he died during his first trip on psychedelic toad venom from the Sonoran Desert toad, which can be consumed to produce a brief psychoactive trip. Tyson would go on to say he'd been using narcotics since the young age of 11 years old. In his autobiography, The Undisputed Truth, Tyson said that he had taken illegal stimulants before his fight against Lou Savarese in 2000, and also before his defeat by the Cockney Brit Danny Williams in 2004. Tyson is currently working on the development of 2 legal brands of substance, and he is also an investor in the biotech company Wasana Health, which is using psilocybin as a treatment for traumatic brain injuries. We pay homage to all of the boxers on this channel. It seemed Tyson took up the sport as a release from his terrible surroundings at home and on the streets. The story's told not to point a finger, but to shed light on what a troubled life Tyson has led. If there is anything you feel we missed from the topics covered, be sure to comment below, and once more, if you've not done so already, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to Below the Belt Boxing, YouTube's newest boxing channel on the rise.